Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. In this video I'm going to share with you I'm not sure we can call it a trick, is simply what I do when I layer snare sounds. I'm going to call this approach tone, body, snap. And I do layer snare sounds and sample pretty much on every mix, on every genre, from trap to rock, metal, hip-hop, dance, EDM, you name it. So regardless the genre, I want to say I have a pretty distinctive snare sound. For me, it's one of the driving elements in any song. It's almost my second lead vocal. So I pay a lot of attention to my snare sounds, and I don't mind spending a little time on layering sounds. And 90% of the time I do this with Superior Drummer 3 simply because it's the best tool. It gives me so much versatility. I can do so many tricks with it, and in this video I might be able to show you a couple, but if you're interested in more, let me know in the comments down below and we'll do more. Let's get to the video. Hello everyone, welcome back to MixFest TV. Hope you're having a great day. Before we start, please check the info box down below for my mixing courses on Pro Mix Academy, free plugin special discounts and offers. And of course, if you really want to learn how to mix and master professionally, click the join button down here, become a MixFest TV member, access the already big and always growing library of full mixing courses, start to finish on many different genres, mastering courses, and a lot more. And if the videos are helping you, you want to support the channel, please consider using the super thanks new feature down here. Let's go. I'm gonna do a couple of examples in this video using different genres, but we'll start with this one. Is an alternative metal song for which I had originally real acoustic recorded drums, right? Which don't sound that bad, but don't sound that great. So here is it. Let me mute the overheads so you can hear better kick and snare, which are the weakest links on this recording. It doesn't sound bad for being a raw, real acoustic drum recorded, but in the mix, kick and snare especially were a little weak. Now the levels of this mix are all over the place because it's just for the video, but just so you can get an idea. Because we're focusing on layering snare sounds specifically in this video, I'm not gonna go into what I did with the kick. I just grabbed a kick drum sample from Superior Drummer 3 that I liked and I added to it. I usually don't stack kick drum sounds, especially for rock and metal. I don't feel the need to. But with that one kick sample in, sounds like this. Okay, sounds more punchy, more powerful. Let's get to the snare. First thing that I do is I grab the original snare because we have an acoustic recording for it, and I drag it inside Superior Drummer 3 in the tracker so I can turn it into MIDI. Let me show you this, even though I already did it. I just grab my snare track, and Superior Drummer, you can see, analyzes it and automatically recognizes all the hits and actually automatically recognizes which instrument it is. It says snares, but if it for some reason reads it wrong, you can change it manually. I have a full dedicated video on a Superior Drummer tracker and how to turn an audio file, a recorded acoustic drum, into MIDI. I'll put the link in the info box down below. Once you adjusted all the parameters, you drag this MIDI file here into your DAW, which is what I did, and the file is here, snare MIDI. Now this MIDI file is feeding my Superior Drummer 3, and for this one I'm gonna load one of my favorite kits for snare, especially rock and metal, which is metal. Let's hear the default sound. Okay, it's a great sound to begin with. The problem, and one of the reasons because I like to layer snare sounds, it's because everybody uses samples and everybody has the same samples. So if you master the fine art of layering, I feel not only you get better sound, more powerful sound, but you also get unique sounds because nobody can reverse engineering your layering, okay? Which is what we're gonna see now. Let's open the full drum and see how this snare sample sounds with it. Okay, one of the things that I like to do when I use Spirit Drummer 3 is simply remove my ambient and mute it. The reason because I do this, it's because I usually create my ambient in the mix with my reverbs, with my room sounds. The room sounds in Spirit Drummer 3 are great, and there's another trick that I also did in this mix, which is sometimes I use one sample, but I record the ambient, the far mic, the room mics of another snare sample, and I add that to the mix. The reason is because I want to hear the raw, dry sample of the snare when I pick my sounds. All right, we said tone, body, and snap. Why? Because these are the characteristics that I usually want from my snare. And while single snares can have all of them to some extent, I kind of want to control over each of these characteristics, okay? So the first sound that I'm looking for is the tone, which is gonna almost be, we can call it my main sample, all right? Sometimes I also call it ring if it's a ringing snare. This is gonna be my voice, and the other two are gonna support it. So let's audition a couple. I like that one. All right, let's stick to the first one that I liked. Okay, like for example, I really like the snap from this one. So we could stack that one as the snap snare, but before doing that, I need the body. I want more body, especially for a song like this. I like snares that are like powerful, almost like you're hitting a beer keg, okay? This is just my aesthetic. Not always, but for a song like this. So I'm just gonna add to center here, and I think I know where I can find a really down-tuned, beefy snare. It will probably be in the Rock Solid expansion. That sounds nice. So let's hear it on it. It adds a ton of weight. And sometimes for sounds like this, I really like to use electronic drum kits, especially if I want really tight or if it's maybe some industrial music more than, you know, played instruments like this. So we have a big soundy snare now. Now the volume of this added body snare, it's a little too high compared to this. It takes over everything. So we kind of have to figure out what level we want. Now for this, for the body, generally speaking, I don't want this sample to be heard. I just want it to be felt. I just want this added almost octave to the snare. That's the purpose for this body snare here. So I'm just gonna play and bring up the volume of it. It sounds nice. Now I want that snap snare that we talked about. And maybe it could be that one that is in this same expansion, the metal expansion. Let's try. This is a nice snap. And it's a little too skinny. That is nice, but at this point, it's kind of counterproductive to audition the samples in solo. I'm just gonna add this here and just play it and just change it from here. Well, it sounds nice. So we have our tone snare, our body snare, and our snap snare. I'm gonna turn both down a little bit. This sounds like a good level. So this would be my starting point, my one snare sample that I will add to the mix and start mixing. But this is the thought process that I follow when I start layering sounds. And, you know, we have now, if we open everything, okay, let's do another example really quick. For example, we have this demo of a hybrid trap / metal track that we are working on for Bella. Okay, I programmed the drums here and I used the default rock kit, which is not bad, but we can definitely do better. So let's try to use that same concept to come up with like a different snare and probably a different kick as well. Let's start with the kick, which is easier. This is nice. I like this. Too boomy. This is nice and tight. I do like this one though for this. Let's hear how it sounds. Let me try to stack the other one with this and see if it works. Sounds nice. It's not as dry as this one alone, which I like the click on it and the low end, but this has a nice ring to it. See how they sound together. Just a little bit of the second one, just to give it a little more depth. Snare. I don't like this snare for this kind of tracks, so we're just gonna swap it. I think we just need something like very dramatic as our tone snare. I like the maple one. And this kind of already has the body that we need. I want to see if there's the other one that I really like. This one, if I can stack it. Yeah, it sounds good. I'm gonna send this to bus 1 and just add a reverb on it. Let me solo this for a second. I'm just gonna use the EQ before the reverb, so to clean up the low end. Anyway, I think this is it for the video. I hope you guys liked it, and if you have any questions, leave it in the comments down below. And let me know if there's something specific about Superior Drummer 3 that you want to see, because we are going to do a couple of videos on it. If you like the video, please don't forget to leave a like, and if you feel like you use the super thanks and support the channel, subscribe if you haven't already. Stay safe. See you next time.